we had a killer main event this week on Dynamite. MJF, Sammy Guevara, blowing it out the water. But more importantly, we are back. The boys are back. AEW Dynamite.
Let's go.
Review time. Welcome back to the Elite Maniac podcast. What is up, people? Welcome back to the Elite Maniac podcast, where we discuss all things AEW. My name is Mex, aka WrestleManiac UK, and I'm alongside my tag team partner Mike, aka Kings Road Wrestling. We've got an awesome show of AEW Dynamite to review and answer your questions about. See, this is the last show in Daily's place, probably for a while, so we had that kind of emotional element as well. We're going to discuss all of that in just a second. Before we do, smash the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And for our audio listeners, please make sure you subscribe and follow us on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us with a 5-star review. Let the people know the great job that myself and Mike do right here at the Elite Maniac podcast. Mike, it has been a very, very long time. We were unable to bring this brilliant podcast to the people because AEW decided to turn up on Friday nights. But we are back on Wednesdays. I know you're pumped for Wednesday night Dynamite.
I am, man. We took a 4-week hiatus from this podcast just because, for those that you don't know, we are not on the same time zone. Myself and Mex, we are completely different. He's in United Kingdom. I'm in the United States. And, Friday night, Saturday night, not a great time. So we're very, very happy to be back with everybody here. And we have a great show. We got back to our Thursday schedule. So we're super pumped, man. Last night I was on my Instagram Live. I was telling you this earlier, and people were saying, when's the podcast coming back? When's the podcast coming back? I was like, damn, I missed this. I can't wait to come back. So now we are finally back. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to hear from all of you. I had my questions on today, and I got some interaction with the fans. So I'm in a great mood today, and I can't wait to talk about this Wednesday night Dynamite edition that I think that we both enjoyed.
I very much enjoyed this show, like always. And to be honest, because we haven't spoken, we've checked in with each other and everything like that in the last couple of weeks, but we haven't spoken Dynamite. We've just been kind of catching up on our lives.
Yeah, like, are you good, man?
Yeah. But there, me, I've got some questionable stuff that I've always got to bring up and we got to discuss. I haven't been happy with some stuff, but this particular show, I thought it really pushed some stuff out there. It's got us thinking about some upcoming feuds and things like that. So I really, really enjoyed it. What did you think of tonight's show?
I thought it was pretty fire, man. So I took a step back after the episode, and I said to myself, I don't want to, overhype it just because it's back on Wednesday nights, and I'm excited that there's a nice crowd, and they're going on tour next week for Road Rager. But taking a step back, it really was a very solid show, especially the in-ring action. I mean, I really have not that much to complain about in-ring action. This was kind of the show of changes for Kings Road Wrestling. There were people that I didn't really like in the past, and they came out, and tonight I feel like it's solidified. Like, wow, I kind of really like you.
I know who you're gonna say, and I feel it here.
Right?
I think it's the same person, but we'll speak. We'll speak.
All Ego.
That's the one.
All Ego, Ethan Page, man. We will get to that, what happened with him, but both of us, WrestleManiac UK and myself, were not feeling him at all for months. And I feel like that all changed last night. And it's something interesting that we're going to talk about for sure, but definitely an interesting episode of Dynamite. Let's just clear the air here, ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching out there. JR made a mistake at the end. And this man, I'm just going to lay it all out here. This man is in his mid to late 70s. He's worked at WWE probably 30, 40 years. Cut the guy a break. He's not like a spring chicken anymore. I'm 25, and I'll find myself slipping up on things, forgetting things. My dad, he's around his late 60s. He does it all the time. I couldn't imagine being like, fire him. Come on, man. It was a bad mistake, but man, people are ruthless to this guy. He is still a great commentator. I don't know what we never really talked about JR, but Man, I just felt bad last night. I really did.
Bro, this is the internet where everyone behaves like their own shit doesn't stink. Everyone makes mistakes. It's just a slip up and this, that, and the other. Where I found it amusing was because obviously we had this beautiful AEW montage of how brilliant Daly's place is and everything that's happened in Daly's place. And then as he's closing out the show, given that privilege, because he is JR.
He is JR.
That's where he's made the slip. And yeah, we see Underground just mention it here. You can never go wrong with opening the show with Young Bucks match, which we'll talk about it on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew everybody was going to say this. People were,
it's one of those things. The internet is going to have their laughs about it. People saying JR should, get fired for it and leave and all that. That's a step too far. Let's not be silly.
Yeah, right. Like, they're going to replace him with Morrow. Morrow's good, but man, that guy like yells all the time. Like, I'll keep JR. I like him better.
Yeah, let's not be silly. The guy made a mistake, like you said. His age profile is what it is. He's worked at WWE for so long. It is just a slip up, nothing more. We'll be over it in the next two days.
I hope so. Let's get on to Road Rager and this sick week that we have coming out. They're back on tour, ladies and gentlemen. In the James Knight Center in Miami, Florida, coming at you on Wednesday. Which this whole like Road Rager show that was advertised. It's got this like cool like aesthetic Tron vibe, like it's 80s. Like I think it's gonna be a cool night, man. And that's I guess their replacement for Bash at the Beach, right? Kind of the same color scheme, but
yeah.
That's gonna be a good show.
Personally, I think Road Rage is a terrible name.
It's a weird name, but I do like the aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic and everything looks nice. The card looks really good, but I just think the name was bad. But this is like 1 week out of 4 or 5 weeks of back-to-back TV specials that they're gonna churn out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Before we get to those shows, we got to talk about today's show or last night's show, Dynamite. So yeah, Mike, you want to take it away with the opening match?
We will. Let's get right into it. This was, I think, 16 weeks that they were in Daly's place in Jacksonville, Florida, without going on tour. So this was kind of the send-off show to Daly's place. Pretty impressive when the show started out. They had a great crowd that was pretty vocal. And if you think about it, staying vocal, staying loud and coming for 16 weeks, keeping fans interested, that's not really an easy task if you're in the same stationary location. So props to AEW and the roster for really putting out a good product that people want to come back and see. It's awesome. But Jericho was back on commentary, and he was a nice, interesting change up for the commentary tonight on AEW. But we had my guys, Pentagon, Cero Miedo, and Eddie Kingston, who recently I've just been like in love with, honestly, for lack of a better term. I love that man. Taking on the Young Bucks in an eliminator match, which was super, super dope in my opinion. Some of the stuff in this match was just really great, obviously from the Bucks, but I thought the Bucks kind of wrestled more of a technical match. It was kind of less, some high flying, but less spot monkey stuff. It was good stuff from the Bucks, but we also saw some great offense from Eddie Kingston and Penta Zero M. Eddie Kingston hit a fisherman suplex that was very nice. Exploder. We saw Eddie Kingston eating a ton of super kicks and just kind of getting up and saying, this is not going to phase me. I hate the Young Bucks. Young Bucks obviously doing their signature super kicks, coming out with facial hair.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about their look.
Is talking about it. We've got Victor. Thanks for joining us, Victor. He said Joe Exotic Young Bucks because he looks just like Joe Exotic. They do. Underground as well. What was with the Young Bucks and Omega's mustaches last night? I mean, this is obviously something that they're doing to get more heel heat.
Yeah,
it's clearly worked.
It clearly has worked.
What was your thoughts when they walk out of the tunnel with those different facial hairs that we're used to seeing?
The first thing I thought is, oh my God, Twitter's going to go nuts, and they're going to bury them, which is exactly what they want. They want people to hate them, which is they're very good at that. Second thing I thought was, these guys look like Ron Jeremy. I hate to say it. People, especially the guys who I'm assuming most of the guys that watch this podcast know who Ron Jeremy is. Legendary adult film actor. And they literally have the same look as him. And I was dying in my chair laughing. I was like, oh my God, like these guys look so weird. They look like creeps, man. It was
they said it on the show. I think it was JR or maybe Shivani. They said that they look like porn stars.
Yeah, that's what they're man. I die, but I think I know why they did that, I guess. And I checked Twitter and people were like, they look like idiots, like fuck these guys.
Yeah.
I guess it worked. What did you think about this?
I burst out laughing. I mean, every time they just walk out the tunnel for their match, I'm waiting for something. Even if it's something they're wearing, what trainers are they wearing? What's their headbands going to look like? What their jacket? What big elaborate jacket are they wearing? I've been waiting for something every single time they walk out that tunnel. And for this week, for it to be the whole mustache and the beards and everything, I just died laughing because, like you, I said, this is just for heat. They are heat magnets. When the Young Bucks are heels, they're in their element.
They're really good, man.
No one better. So
no, there's not many tag teams that could do what they do for sure. Towards the end of the match, it was very competitive between the two. It was a kind of edge of your seat action. We saw the Good Brothers kind of go down to the ring in the heat of the action. And we thought, maybe they're going to get involved. JR was like, who do they even work for? Like, what's going on here? But then we saw the elite hunter, Frankie Kazarian. He came out, beat the crap out of Brandon Cutler, beat the crap out of the Good Bros. Cutler accidentally sprayed Matt Jackson with the cold spray instead of Eddie Kingston, which allowed Penta to take out the Stooges with a tope con hero. Then Penta came back in, hit a pile driver, and then Eddie Kingston comboed for the Hurricane on Matt Jackson, and they got the pinfall victory. So Eddie Kingston and Penta 0M will be facing the Young Bucks in a future tag team title match. This was an eliminator match, but they are number one contenders for the tag team belts now. Great match, in my opinion. I like it. I want to hear your opinion on the ending in just a second, but I'm super pumped that Eddie and Penta are best friends again. And it's just, I love them together. So I don't really know how that happened. It's kind of random, but they're back as like good friends. Where's Moxley? Subtle. I'm not sure.
Well, Moxley's off, looking after his baby. Yeah. So it's a very subtle way they've kind of brought these two back together, Penta and Eddie Kingston. Obviously they both have a mutual hatred for the Young Bucks, so that helps. This match was brilliant. Like I think Underground said in the comments, once you start a match with the Young Bucks, start a show with the Young Bucks, it really helps set the tone. NK went on to say that it was a great episode tonight in general, which I 100% agree with. It's just brilliant. And the Young Bucks losing, I'm someone that likes stats and stuff in my wrestling, 100%. That's why I've probably had one too many rants on this show about the rankings, because I just love numbers. I love my stats and stuff. And this is like the first time Young Bucks have lost a match in like forever. I don't know how many people have been keeping an eye on that. The Young Bucks have not been pinned. They haven't lost matches.
Singles, that last one was with Penta, right?
What was that?
I think Penta beat like Nick before.
Oh, but that's a singles match.
Never like in the tag, right?
Yeah. I mean, and this is the importance of wins and losses. So more importantly for me last night was that, wow, the Young Bucks were actually pinned. Now, obviously, these guys get their tag team opportunity against them. I'm expecting Young Bucks to retain, but it's a big thing, and that's why wins and losses should definitely matter in wrestling. But this was a really good match to open the show.
Definitely. I love those stats. And now that I love that they get a loss, it sets up a title opportunity. And that's something that's kind of forgotten in American wrestling until AEW really brought it back. But I'm not saying they invented it, but Japan specifically, those promotions, you're a champion no matter what. Like you're a tag champion, you're a single champion. If you get pinned in a non-title match, that sets up a title match. Always. It always gives the guy the opportunity to challenge you, which is a great incentive for people to win in matches that don't necessarily have the title on the line. So I'm really happy that AEW has adopted that, and I'm excited for this match. I'm rooting for Eddie and Penta, but we will see. The Young Bucks are a hard match for sure.
100%, bro.
We'll move on to the Christian Cage promo, who's someone that I don't know. I've been warming up to him. It's just like he's been doing feel good stuff. I'll say that. Like not really anything like profound. I mean, he did attack Omega at the end of Jungle Boy's match last week because he was defending Jungle Boy, but he's been kind of doing like feel good stuff. He had that promo with Kingston outside of the ring, but last night he said that he's proud of Jungle Boy and that he's going to be champ one day, and he wants Jungle Boy to win tonight to be the first wrestler to get 50 wins in All Elite Wrestling. Luchasaurus comes in, does kind of dinosaur voice, and thanks Christian for having Jungle Boy's back last week when Luchasaurus wasn't present. He says now that he has Christian's back now. Christian thanks him and says, by the way, I'm also part dinosaur. And the two walk off kind of as friends. So kind of a funny segment and maybe a new alliance between Jurassic Express and Christian.
It amused me in this segment because we saw obviously Jungle Boy getting ready for his match, Christian coming in and saying, there's only wins and learning. There's no wins and lose. And it's like Jungle Boy the entire time was kind of no-selling the fact this legend was talking to him. It was almost like it was I felt like obviously it's not like he was being rude about it, but because of Jungle Boy doesn't really speak much, he doesn't do much promo. It was kind of like Christian was talking at himself. And Jungle Boy was there in the room, if you see what I mean.
Did you think Jungle Boy had a different vibe last night?
Not that I noticed.
Okay, so there's some people saying that like they felt like he was like kind of like more confident, more like I don't know. And I know that you said the other day that he would have a perfect heel turn as being Jack Perry, which I totally agree with. Coming out with Anna Jay.
I'm not gonna lie. Jack Perry just sounds like the name of a complete dick.
It sounds like my dad's gonna get his lawyer on you. Jack Perry, Jack
Perry walks in. He's got the girl, with him, and I know some people will probably not want him and the Jay paired up, but there's just so much potential. Like imagine like Jungle Boy cutting the locks off as well, having a nice clean cut. Like I just think it has so much potential. Obviously, I trust AEW to pull the trigger on all that if that's a thing when the time is right. But I'm already looking forward to that. The Luchasaurus Christian joke thing at the end.
I liked it.
I don't need that dinosaur reference stuff. Like, God, give me a break.
He doesn't need it. Guys, he's mature, and we are not on this side of the aisle, dude.
But I'll give him one thing. Underground said here as well, so I'll give him his props for this comment because it's the goddamn truth. Jungle Boy in last week's main event, MJF and Sammy Guevara in this week's AEW main event. That is the future of the company right there. Those guys, all of them, mega talented.
Yeah, it kind of shuts down the all WWE talent argument,
He doesn't even speak to people.
Yeah, it's so stupid, dude. Like, really, just leave all of us alone and go back in your hole. Another thing, when I was seeing Jungle Boy, when you said that Jack Perry comment, I could see him being like the original Hunter Hearst Helmsley from Greenwich, like very aristocratic, like just a rich prick. That's really what Triple H began as, and everybody hated him. Yeah, man, Jungle Boy. I don't know. It's weird because if you go back in the archive of these shows that we've done, like we've mentioned Jungle Boy a couple times. Like, we put him over. Like we're both fans of him, but like I feel like since we've been gone, he's kind of had like a growth, like shot to the moon, kind of. And now, like I feel like the arena's chanting him out of the arena. They're loving him. People are loving him, and he's in the main event. Like I don't know, something happened, and it's cool to see.
I think by latest December next year, as this is officially the halfway point of the year, today is July 1st. So within the next 18 months, Jungle Boy will be TNT champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's got to be something. And because he's so young, it even feels like that might be too soon. He's got a whole career ahead of him.
He's younger, he's a year younger than me, which is nuts.
Yeah, but that's the thing, the trajectory that he's on. It's like, how long can you really hold him back for? Unless, obviously, we get these trios titles very soon. He wins them with the Jurassic Express guys. That could be a way to kind of give him something to do in the meantime. But
I'd rather give him the TNT championship and then let the best friends do the trios, maybe.
Yeah.
Man, I really think the best friends deserve some kind of like reward. Like it's ridiculous.
do,
It's getting
they do.
ridiculous. Getting ridiculous. Like, well, when are we putting it on OC, man? When we put it on Orange, man? Like, come on here. I've been pushing that for weeks, man. But he's the most over in the company. I think.
100%. He's up there. 100%. He's up there. Top 5. 100%.
And he's also he used to be on Monday Night Raw, so they're just pulling talent from Vince's. I'm just messing with everybody, but we'll move on to Ethan Page in his promo with Tony Schiavone and Scorpio Sky, someone that we've been like for really weeks. You guys know this, especially those who are live right now with us, that we have been hating Ethan Page. We're like, we don't care about him. This guy sucks. Like, he's just mini MJF. Last night kind of changed my mind. This is what we were talking about earlier. He came out and he was getting nuclear heat. They were booing his ass out of the building. They were like, boo, interrupting him. He couldn't finish his thoughts. And that's when you're doing something right. Because in wrestling, you never want to go out there and get a no reaction, because then people just aren't into it. They don't care enough to boo you. And that's worse than getting booed. So I was watching last night with my cousin. She's like, why are they booing? Why is that a good thing if they're booing him? I was like, you don't get it. Like, it is a good thing that they're booing him. He's getting the crowd upset, and that's what you want. And dude, he was just getting wrecked last night. He said his goal was to exterminate Darby Allin, which set the whole crowd off. He wants to cripple him physically and mentally, and he needs to do that in a coffin match. That's why they're going to do it. But the music hits, and it's Sting. He comes out with this coffin, and that's another one that for a while, we're like, what is Sting doing? I feel like Sting just does cool shit now. He does stuff that matters. He rolls out a coffin that has flames all over it because Darby burned it last week. Darby comes out of the coffin to run, beat the crap out of the Men of the Year. And Darby was digging his fingernails into Ethan Page's eyes. And then the moral of the story, after they got their asses kicked, Ethan Page canceled the coffin match. He said he doesn't want it at Road Rager. He wants to move it to Fyter Fest. And there's going to be some stipulations like Darby can't touch Ethan Page. So, thoughts on Ethan Page and this segment that we got last night?
Blew me away. Like he said, I think it was the last week as well, when he had a match, and then he had a promo after the match, and then the crowd just wouldn't let him speak again.
No, yeah.
Something there is bubbling. And look, I'm not taking back what I said. I wasn't into Ethan Page. But like I had said at the time, I was totally into what Ethan Page and not Scorpio Sky, Darby Allin had done previously in Evolve, because I had seen their series of matches. I just wasn't a fan of Ethan Page coming in, occupying a space that MJF is king at, and then not really doing anything. Nothing was really clicking. Being put with Scorpio Sky was a bit meh. But now he's obviously still very much packaged with Scorpio Sky, but he has taken a step away from him to go into like this singles feud with Darby.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like that.
Yeah, he's thriving. He's thriving. I can't lie. Darby, I know he's still a fan favorite, but he seems that he's gone a bit cold in recent weeks.
A little bit. And kind of Ethan's kind of, got some more heat. Darby's gone a little bit cold. I'll agree with that statement.
Yeah. I think it was a really nice touch, and I think this is why they've done it. AEW have obviously moved their match from next week till the week after, I think, because the next week's show is going to be in Miami, and there was a tragic accident in Miami.
Yeah.
With the building and stuff, so having a coffin match in Miami probably isn't the best of ideas, and it's
a great move from AEW.
And they moved it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the coffin match at this point.
I think it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see how they do it differently than what was done in the past. Not a lot of companies out there do coffin matches. WWE obviously is the one that comes to mind. The Undertaker made it famous, but outside of that, I can't really think of any other company that did it. But at least we have a cool storyline of why they want to do it. Because Ethan Page wants to exterminate Darby Allin. He wants to put him out of his misery. And he wants him to, I've got a voice crack there, sorry. He wants to basically give him PTSD. What I got from the promo was he wants every time Darby does a coffin drop to think about Ethan Page doing it. He really hates Darby. Yeah. So this is cool. And yeah, I definitely didn't understand why the match was moved. And I thought there was an apartment condominium complex in Miami that collapsed, and a lot of people passed away tragically last week. So, yes, we're very sorry to hear that, and maybe this match needs to be held back a few weeks. So we'll see that at Fyter Fest.
Yeah. Just taking a comment here from Underground. He says, "I'm not digging Pentagon Jr. with Alex Abrahantes. That's blasphemy."
Yeah, man, he's golden.
He said, "Just not feeling it, to be honest. Give me Vampiro and Pentagon Jr. versus Sting and Darby Allin after Darby finishes off Ethan and Scorpio Sky."
Look at this guy's profile picture, though. That's Lucha Underground. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I guess he wants Vampiro back.
No problem. That makes sense.
I'd be down.
And Victor says Lucha Underground with grave consequences.
Did Lucha Underground do a coffin match? I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yeah, it seems so.
Okay. I didn't really watch it that much, but I know it's some good stuff out there. Speaking of Lucha Underground, Jack Evans was up next. He was an alumni of Lucha Underground, who faced Jungle Boy for Jungle Boy's 49th win in AEW. Who got this? He'd secure the 50 wins, which is super impressive. And that's just like they use Jungle Boy a lot. So he better be getting that paycheck, man.
Let's not forget that show called Dark, which probably helped boost.
He's on Dark all the time, actually. He's always on Dark. Like he's every episode, Jungle Boy's on Dark.
That's how he got to 50. But not taking anything away from Jungle Boy, he's fantastic. But yeah,
man, the other day, right? I was just thinking, I was like, I don't understand how like you don't watch Dark and Dark Elevation. And I thought to myself, like, you also watch NXT, Raw, and SmackDown, and you have a wife and a child. Like, I get it. Like, man, like it's
literally time because where I've obviously those are new shows. Right. So where I've created my lifestyle schedule around the WWE stuff and now AEW stuff, Dark and Dark Elevation came afterwards. So it's me now trying to everything I should be doing when I'm watching AEW and WWE, I've put on the days where Dark and Dark Elevation come out. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I get that completely, man. And there's like, if I were you, man, I would not be watching Dark and Dark Elevation. But like where I'm at with me right now is I did finish law school, so I'm not a complete idiot, everybody, but I'm at home with my mom and dad. I don't have an apartment anymore. I don't have a girlfriend or anything. And all my friends pretty much moved to the other end of the state. So I'm just like sitting here like on Tuesday night, I'm like, what else am I going to do at Tuesday at 8 o'clock? I mean, I'll watch Dark. But yeah, man, I'm going to do some stuff this weekend. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to Backyard Wrestling.
Okay.
From Game Changer Wrestling, the deathmatch promotion that's based out of New Jersey. It's actually a show that's on pay-per-view. It's on Fight TV, and it's a limited number of people that are invited. It's an invite-only event on July 4th. So check out my Instagram because I do not know what to expect at this show, man. I think it's going to be crazy. So
make sure you take cover.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Don't get hit with nothing.
No, man, I became friends with the owner, so definitely going to bring you guys some of that this weekend. And speaking of the Dark, also in Dark Elevation, specifically you, though, if you just check my Instagram, because I haven't missed it. So Monday and Tuesday, like I'll post like what, as best as I could do the star ratings of, I think, for the matches. So like there's like one or two matches that are like pretty good, and you can just go on YouTube and watch those guys. So that's how you got to do it. Just go on Kings Road Wrestling. And from this week, The Blade killed it, and Sonny Kiss did pretty well. So interesting stuff.
It's a lot. It's a lot to watch. There's just a lot out there to watch. Even Impact, obviously, with the relationship between AEW and Impact, I've been trying to watch Impact here and there.
It's pretty good.
It's
hard to watch
100%.
though because it's late. It's just Thursday night, but
it's hard to watch for me because there's just no like fans or anything. Not even.
They're getting them back. Yeah, Impact's one of my favorite promotions. Always has been. I've always loved Impact. I definitely took a hiatus from it, but that whole no fans thing, man, it just sucks. It sucks.
I think what I'm saving myself next is the AEW Rampage show. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and that is going to be weaved into my program of watching TV and recording shows about it as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and stay tuned because I know that we've been talking about future plans for this podcast, and obviously we want to bring you guys something to do with the Rampage, something to do with all this extra content. So
Yeah.
Definitely will be figuring that out for you guys. But as we were saying, Jack Evans faced Jungle Boy in a pretty basic match. Jack Evans is a good competitor, but he's kind of more that gymnastics, ricochet type action. And the crowd was going wild for Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy hit some pretty cool moves, some offense from Jack Evans. Nothing really happened until we got back from the commercial break, and then we saw Jungle Boy hit a huge lariat. Jack Evans hit an enziguri. Jungle Boy countered that, got a suplex, and then he locked his snare trap in relatively early. I think he wanted to close out the match, and he did get the submission victory with the snare traps, kind of an STF type move on Jack Evans. So he submits, and Jungle Boy got his 50th win. Matt Hardy comes out after, attacks Jungle Boy, because obviously the Hardy family office, Jack Evans and Angelico there are part of it. Matt Hardy comes out. Christian Cage comes out because he has Jungle Boy's back. He fights Matt Hardy, hits him with a reverse DDT type thing. And then Cage attacks Jack Evans and saves Jungle Boy. Pretty interesting match. Huge congrats to Jungle Boy on his 50th win. But this also sets up the potential for Hardy versus Cage down the line.
Yeah, I think they're keeping Jungle Boy strong. It was a good thing to have this match, despite him losing to Kenny Omega the other week. One thing I didn't like about this, not the match per se, it was Matt Hardy. Obviously, Jack Evans is, a hired hitman basically for the HFO and all of that kind of stuff. And I didn't like the fact Matt Hardy, yes, he wanted Jungle Boy injured, but for him to say, I don't care about the outcome of the match, I just want Jungle Boy hurt. I thought that was a bit of a misstep. You should always care if you win or lose, or if you're sending someone out there to win. Yes,
that represents you.
Yeah. You wanted Jungle Boy to lose and get hurt, yes. But for him to say, I don't care if Jack Evans doesn't win, I thought, that's, after all, this is a wrestling show, which is you win and you lose. I didn't quite think that was the right thing to say.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, so thank you for pointing that out. But they're also kind of someone that's kind of a group that's gotten a little bit colder recently, I think.
Yeah. The HFO is, in my opinion, is just doing a bit too much. Like, there's just too many of them in there, and I understand, yes, factions work, and I'm a big fan of factions, bringing people together to get them TV time, but there just seems to be no cohesion between the guys that are in HFO. And I know it's not a faction in that sense. It's just Matt Hardy kind of managing all these different people, but I'm not sure if it works.
No, and I would agree with that, definitely. We kind of had another thing after this. Our boy, Andrade, he came out and did a little bit of a promo. And you got to help me out here because I'm not sure. Is he actually not very good at speaking English? He's learning it, or is this just something that he's doing?
Yeah, he's learning English. So his English may be a lot farther because he's been learning English for some time. English is a very hard language to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
But his English may be a lot further down the line than what he's letting off, especially in this promo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Matt something that was just hilarious. So yeah, he definitely knows his name is Matt Sydal. He just was disregarding him as Matt something, which I thought was a brilliant touch. I think his English is probably a bit better than he's showing. But remember, it's putting a camera in front of someone that English still isn't their first language.
No, yeah.
They may be good speaking English, but the minute they're under pressure to actually do it in front of a camera, they get a bit nervous. So that's obviously a possibility.
Does Charlotte speak Spanish?
I think she speaks small. Again, with you guys in the US, I'm sure Spanish is one of the things you may even learn in school, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so she probably has some background knowledge of it,
but not in the UK.
No, we don't. Our go-to languages here in the UK are French or maybe German. Spanish would probably follow as a third choice, but French or German before that.
Well, anyways, thank you for the interesting insight into the United Kingdom education system in Britain, whatever it's called. But man, I've been enjoying Andrade, and I know that he wasn't booked that well in NXT, not in NXT, in main roster. But he really seems like a top contender here from at least the promos that he's been cutting. He seems like he looks cool too. He looks awesome. Yeah. So I'm excited to see Matt Sydal versus Andrade at Road Rager that was just announced last night because Matt Sydal interrupted Andrade last week, so he wants his revenge on him. So we'll see that next week.
Yeah, it's a great first opponent. Him and Sydal.
It is it's a good choice. Yeah.
So and I hope next week we finally see who the surprise is that him and Vicky have been kind of teasing for a couple of weeks.
So it's either Thea Trinidad or Alicia. What's the other one?
Who's that?
Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox. That used to be WWE.
Yeah.
Why she left? I didn't know. I don't think
well, okay, so I read last night that she was spotted with Nyla Rose at a Panera Bread in Jacksonville.
They might just be friends, though.
I don't know. So people are like, "Oh, I think it's going to be her," but I'm not going to. Yeah, so when we listen to the internet, it's not always accurate. So
please be Thea Trinidad.
Yeah, I'd rather have Thea Trinidad.
Those two together on NXT were fantastic. Even in the last year around after WrestleMania, so that's March, April, May, they were carrying the show. Thea Trinidad and Andrade were in like 2 or 3 Raw segments per night. Absolutely fantastic. And the way things ended for both of them is just a complete shame. Brilliant pairing that we need to see on AEW.
And she's married to Aleister Black, right? Yeah, and he's definitely, I think, going to come. So hopefully we get her.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah. Omega came out, cut a promo. He also had the Ron Jeremy-esque beard, kind of like the mutton chops. He looked hilarious as well. It is his 210th day as AEW champion. And quite recently, he's had some awesome matches ever since Double or Nothing. He's kind of got out of those gimmick matches with Moxley and everything. He had a great one with Moose, but they were kind of both hurt at Against All Odds on Impact. I think it could have been better. But pretty interesting promo from Omega. He told everyone that he's done with AEW because he's beaten everybody. There's no one else for him to go against, and he's going to go defend his other belts. Then the Dark Order came out, Stu Grayson, Eva Luno, all those boys. Eva Luno said none of them are ranked to face Kenny, which is cool because, again, we like the rankings. None of them have a shot yet, but someone else, one of their friends does, and that person's name, they didn't mention it, but we know who it is. It's Hangman Adam Page. He is ranked #1 contender. He could go against Omega. Kenny says that whoever we're talking about doesn't have the guts to come out and face Kenny, tells him to come out. He doesn't. He said, okay, he didn't come out. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm out. So he walks out. Pretty interesting promo. Then we saw afterwards the Dark Order met with the person we're talking about, Hangman Page, who was kind of upset and very apprehensive that they went out there and spoke on his behalf.
Mm-hmm. I thought this was fantastic by all parties, everyone involved. I thought this was brilliant. The arrogance of Kenny Omega, basically dismissing the locker room, dismissing the ranking system, which will show him who his next contender is. Brilliant. You know, I'm just going to put my feet up. I've got other belts to go and defend around the world. I'll be back, sort of thing. The Dark Order coming out and backing the guy who, remember, still hasn't accepted them in the sense of I'm not Dark Order, sort of thing. I'm just, you know, you guys are cool, sort of thing.
Yeah, he should be at this point.
Yeah, they're coming out and backing him though. You know, speaking on his behalf. Uno does a great job. You know, you forget with Brody Lee coming to the front of Dark Order, you forget that, you know, Uno was that guy for Dark Order for such a long time, especially when it wasn't working. And he's come out of it. He looks better, physically better. He's kind of reassumed that position, not quite as the leader, but just as the mouthpiece, the main mouthpiece for them. Brilliant. This was just it was almost even like heartwarming, you know, to a point where these guys are coming out backing their friend, and backstage, you know, they're all giving their accounts of when Hangman was like, why did you do that? Of when Hangman backed them and showed his friendship with them.
And they had Reynolds kind of like closing it out, which I thought was cool. He was like, you could do this, man. Like, come on, like you have this. It was heartwarming. Man, this is my favorite freaking faction.
You know why it's so good? Was Reynolds, if we think about it and break it down, Reynolds is probably the most sane person in Dark Order.
He's normal. Yeah.
Compared to the rest of them. So him being the icing on the cake, like all the mad guys have gone
Perfect.
now, and me just being like guy to guy, human to human, sane person to sane person, you can do this sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, I still don't think we're anywhere close to having this match.
No, either do I, and a lot of people do. A lot of people online are saying it's like happening soon. It's gonna happen before All Out. I don't even think it's gonna happen at All Out. He's so apprehensive.
When is All Out? When's All Out?
September.
I don't know. I feel like it'll be a bit. I'll be a bit. September right now seems too close.
No, because he's got to go do this thing with Andrade. He's got to go do this thing with Sammy Callahan. I really did think that he was going to have something to do with Japan.
I think we have to remember Omega's hurt.
He is, but he looked good He looked good last week.
He always looks good.
You think he's just
Omega's hurt? This may be him losing all his titles. September will be the last of all of these matches, and he then obviously gets decrowned by Hangman.
No,
it could happen, but
I know it could.
Ultimately, this is the first step in still another 2-month story that they're gonna tell us. So I'm looking forward to it. It's about time Hangman kind of returns to that picture, in my opinion.
Did you see the BTE last week? With the drug trip and Hangman Page was staring at the world. Yeah, man, this is such good storytelling.
It's so well done, and this is like there's people that are watching Dynamite every week and have no idea what BTE even is, and just filling in the blanks, with that story is brilliant. I wish they could somehow incorporate. I know a lot of the stuff they show on BTE is X-rated, completely X-rated. They can't show that on TV, but yeah, man, I wish they could kind of fill in the blanks sometimes and show it.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. As we move along, we go to our title match of the night, Miro versus Brian Pillman Jr. I thought this was kind of a cool reception for Brian Pillman Jr. He's kind of just been wrestling without crowds and been wrestling with MLW and on Dark, and this was kind of like his first crowd in Dynamite, and people were pretty into him. He's obviously someone I really like. Miro, though, man, he came out looking like an animal with new music. Like the dude, he looks so good. He looks like a killer, right?
Like why he had to do that game.
Yeah, no, that was so dumb. Let's go back to that.
They have completely rectified and fixed the situation, but it's always going to linger in the back of my mind anyway that God,
he came in as the best man.
Yeah.
And
he is brilliant in this role. As now he's even evolved into this, what do they call him? The Redeemer. He's like a medi-god. He thinks he's the Messiah.
Dude,
he's completely insane. He's lost the plot. But
God's favorite champion.
Yeah, he's just a ferocious guy. And you can absolutely believe everything about him. Every time you watch him, it's like, it's coming to the point where you're watching Miro and it's like, who's going to beat this guy?
Yeah, right. He's like, dude, they have champions right now that I don't even know who they're going to pick for all of them, really. For the tag team belts, the hell's going to beat the Bucks? Who's going to beat Omega? Like maybe Hangman does, but who's going to beat Miro?
That's the biggest one. I mean, the Bucks can always lose in some type of goofy fashion, like they did last night. Omega, it will be very hard believing whoever beats Omega, but it could happen. It's somewhat believable. But Miro is.
I'm afraid that whoever beats him, it's not going to look believable because he's so menacing. He's built this amazing persona. Really props to him for doing this. Like it's probably all his idea to be the Redeemer. The Redeemer is freaking awesome though, man. I'm telling you, I can't get over that. Like how cool that is. Like I want some Miro merch now.
No, it's a really great kind of.
I have not heard one person online say anything bad about him either.
We've been waiting for this, bro. We've been waiting for this. So no one should talk bad on it because we have all been waiting for this since he was in WWE. He's come out, he came to AEW, they done the game stuff. Yeah, some of us said give him time, some of us said this was trash. It went on. Some of us said this is trash. Now he's come out again as the Redeemer and he is brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Fourth TNT title defense last night, ladies and gentlemen. And if we get into the match, Miro dominated early into the commercial break, but after we got back from that, we did see Brian Pillman, and I want to give him his dues here. He got some good moves in and some good offense help with the assisted rope neck breaker. He did a Jericho-esque springboard drop kick in front of Chris Jericho, kind of like as an ode to him. He got a drop kick on Miro. The two fought outside, throwing each other into the guardrail. Pillman had a super kick. And at this point, Miro was like, I've had enough. He got up and just jumping thrust kicked Brian Pillman, got him on the ground, did his back kick, which actually looks pretty painful. And then he put him in the game over camel clutch, choked out Pillman, didn't even get him to tap out, just knocked him out, really, and got the submission ref stoppage victory. So Miro retained that. But, man, I'm happy for Brian Pillman, and Miro's a badass. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Pillman Jr. is really impressive. He deserves his flowers for his performance in this match. Like you said at the top of this particular analysis, him in front of a crowd isn't something he's had much of, especially in AEW since he's got his break on AEW. So it was really good to see them behind him. Yeah, I think he's going to be well looked after in AEW. He's a big talent.
Dude, this AEW is the place that second generation talents go to make their parents proud. Really, like
it, yeah.
It's even if they're not deceased, we have Pillman, Brock Anderson, Vicky Guerrero, Cody. What? There's got to be more, right? I know there's more that I'm missing right now, but there are a lot of.
There's probably a few in the Nightmare Factory as well, coming through and stuff.
It's cool. It's really, really cool to see it. Brian he has that look, man, of his dad, and it's really cool to see. I'm sure that his dad would be really proud of what he's doing, and hopefully he gets a contract soon. I'd really like to see him on board.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Taz promo. And basically what happened here, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's infighting in Team Taz. We've all seen this for weeks. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks are not getting along. Hook said he's tired of it. Will Hobbs said he's also tired of it. So Taz said, families, sometimes they got to fight to resolve their issues. Definitely know that. With my cousin firsthand, definitely had our fair share of fights throughout the years. And now Brian Cage is going to face Ricky Starks at, I think, Road Rage, right? No, July 11th in Texas. So Texas, I don't know if that's like maybe Fight for the Fallen or something like that, or Fighter Fest night too. But the FTW title will be on the line. So we'll have those two guys going at each other, and Ricky will be healed from his neck injury.
Yeah, Taz said that Ricky is currently healed. He's completely ready to go. This is just going to be a bum rush of, what's his face? Brian Cage. Brian Cage is getting beaten the hell out of Team Taz.
I think so.
They are going to corner him. They are going to corner Brian Cage, Hook, Hobbs, Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is walking out FTW champion. This is how they're going to strip him with the title and just get him out of Team Taz.
And I think they'll do something with the belt with Ricky.
Hopefully.
I don't see Ricky having that belt and doing nothing with it. I really don't see that. I think that something will be done with it. I'm praying. We've been saying this for months too. So there's another thing on the wish list of the Elite Maniacs.
And then maybe, there's a comment here on Miro I'm going to read in a sec, but maybe then someone like Brian Cage could be a believable challenger within the TNT division whilst Miro is champion, just because of his sheer size alone.
Or Omega. I'd really like to see that match, and I know that they both posted about it. I'd really like to see this. Is what I'm saying. Like, people like all out. There's still some great opponents that Kenny could have. I think Brian Cage is one. Another one I'd really, really like to see is Cardona and Impact. I would really like to see Cardona go at it. Man, I got to give a shout out to Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona. I was at the show when he attacked Nick Gage. Jesus Christ, dude, that was insane.
The heat was mad.
I couldn't
watch it, and it looks absolutely crazy. So yeah, big up him. Underground just says here, Miro isn't losing the title anytime soon, but if I was booking things, I'd take the title off Miro next year, middle of March, and to Jungle Boy, and give him that Daniel Bryan-like push.
I give it to Cabana or Silver, and give it to them at Rochester, Brody's hometown. If we're going to go down that road of getting Miro the belt off,
I was just gonna, as you were naming them, I was thinking maybe 10, as 10 was the chosen one.
Yeah, 10 is Brody's.
Yeah, it just may. Do you think it's a bit early for 10?
Maybe, but they were chanting Colt's name last night too. Like I feel like he's like very slept on. No, you're not into Colt.
No, I maybe not for a title. I can't lie here. I do think if anyone from Dark Order is to win that particular belt, it's got to be 10.
10 or Silver. 10 or I think.
Yeah,
I think
Silver's a good choice as well, but I don't know if he's seriously in the tag team thing or not. So I don't know. You know, I don't like ripping apart tag teams and stuff. But Arpit says here in the chat, Eddie Kingston beating Miro at New York. A lot of people have said this.
I'm going. I'll be there.
Okay, yeah, that could be a thing as well. That could 100% be a thing.
My man Arpit just interviewed Adam Cole. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I saw
pretty cool stuff.
Cole. Yeah. Cool. You want to crack on with the rest of the review?
Yeah, let's crack on to the final two matches, ladies and gentlemen. Nyla Rose teaming up with Vicky Guerrero versus Britt and Red Bull. A lot of people didn't think that Vicky, was going to get in the ring and wrestle. She did, and it was kind of funny, man. I was like, I don't know. I know that she's not a trained wrestler, but I was dying at some of the stuff that they were doing. Like, she just looked like an idiot in the match. Yeah, not a very good match from anyone. And this is, I won't get too much into this, but Britt got the lockjaw on Vicky, right? And submitted her. This is kind of dumb. And people, and this is to set up the Nyla Rose Britt Baker feud. A lot of people are not very happy with the state of the women's division right now. We were all like, Britt. Then Britt got the belt. And then it kind of went cold, right?
Bro. What have I been saying since Shida was champion and the rest of the division under Shida was doing brilliant stuff, namely Thunder Rosa, namely Britt Baker. We saw the emergence of Cargill. We saw the emergence of Red Velvet.
Statlander, too.
Statlander came back. Brilliant stuff. You all right? We cried out for ages. Please crown our favorite dentist, Britt Baker. They did that. I've been dying to say to you for 4 weeks. What the hell have they been doing with Britt Baker?
I don't know what that, like, this whole cruise control thing did not help when them moving nights, but something better could have been done, right?
They can't book their champions, at least their female champions. They couldn't book Shida for a year. Britt Baker, are you telling me you can't book Britt Baker?
Why are they doing it with Nyla? Man, I respect Nyla. I really do. I know she's a former champion, but there's other people that I feel like.
Well, they're turning Britt Baker face. Can you see it?
No, I can't. I don't know. What do you mean?
Like, as in, the whole crowd was cheering Britt Baker.
Oh yeah, they love her.
Everyone was booing Nyla, and yes, I know. You know, she's one of the heels that we all love. But like, this is then the wrong feud, right? This shouldn't be happening. Like, no,
you shouldn't
unfolding in front of our eyes. Like, it shouldn't be happening.
You shouldn't put her up against the heel first.
Yeah.
You should put her up against like Statlander, which who has been having great matches. You could put her up against even Thunder or someone like that. Penelope Ford. There's people out there that could have even. But like, dude, like, you know what would be a better feud? I'm just gonna say it. Like Kyle and King, like. Have a match, have a title. I'd rather see that. Like, have a young up and coming person in the women's division go up against the Doctor, get some more heat on the Doctor. Hell yeah. But like Nyla, nah. I'm not into it.
They're female champions, bro. I don't know.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
It's not Tay Conti. Look what Arpit just said. Tay Conti.
Oh yeah, we forgot. Where has she been? On Dark? Why are you putting her on Dark, man? She's like I think like the best looking person I've ever seen in my life, and she's awesome at wrestling. Like, what are you doing putting her on?
Isn't a qualification to get on Dynamite.
And I said that she is awesome in the ring, but seriously, everybody likes her. I haven't met one person that doesn't like her. Why is she on Dark and you're putting Nyla? Why are you putting Vicky over Ty Conti?
I mean, let's not spend too long on this because we tried to keep it positive, but I said this when I was watching Shida's reign. I said that they can clearly they're doing good stuff with every other woman, but with the champion, nah.
Because of
now the champion is Britt Baker of all people. it's looking like the exact same things. It's falling into the exact same pattern, which is very, very dangerous. Victor says here, which is true, Rebel got injured at the end of the match. Yeah, she's
She got
dislocated.
bad luck, man.
She dislocated her kneecap. Hope she gets better soon. Apparently, she's in good spirits, they've said, and she's walking around or trying to. So, yeah, hopefully she recovers well. Just a quick question here from Underground. He said, "Who do you think Andre and Vicky are talking about?" I'm thinking Zelina Vega or Shaul Guerrero, or I read about them bringing in Summer Rae. I'm just not interested with anyone apart from Zelina Vega.
Yeah, we all want her.
That's who it has to be.
Yeah, maybe she'll save the women's division. That'd be a good feud. But
yeah, it would be interesting. Mike, let's get on to that.
Let's cap it off. Main event, ladies and gentlemen. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Salt of the Earth versus Sammy Guevara, best ever in the main event. Holy crap, this match was so awesome, man. These two complemented each other so well. And Sammy Guevara, he's kind of got that high flying, fast-paced action. MJF called him a spot monkey. But that pairs really well with MJF's kind of classic style of wrestling. MJF is just so good in the ring, and the two just really fed off each other. Very excellent. There's so much stuff that happened in this match. Some of the highlights were Sammy Guevara. He did a coast-to-coast off the top rope, front flip into the crowd with hard. Okay, not just like a catching. It was an awesome move. A middle rope tombstone pile driver, which I have not seen since ECW Heatwave 98. MJF did that off of Sammy Guevara. A lot of people complaining that Sammy kicked out, but still, nevertheless, an awesome move. 630 splash by Sammy Guevara. MJF, some great offense, really working the arm of Sammy Guevara, trying to lock in that Salt of the Earth. But these two were just going on, and this was they had like half an hour to do this match with no commercial break. So this was pay-per-view quality that you're getting for free on television. For real. It was like over 25 minutes of wrestling. So you guys have not seen this match. You got to go watch this. So towards the end of the match, after we hit that tombstone off the second rope, MJF went for the heat seeker. He missed that. And Sammy Guevara got the advantage here until the inner circle came out. Sean Spears walked out with the chair. Jericho goes in for the save. Wardlow attacks Jericho on the stage. Bryce Remsburg is an idiot, is completely distracted and misses the fact that Sean Spears comes in, smashes Sammy Guevara in the head with a steel chair, which allows Jericho to get, which allows MJF to get the cheap pin. MJF steals the win here with the inner circle's dirty playing.
Fantastic match, honestly. Like, it's just so good. And you know when you see Sean Spears come with the chair, like he's really living this whole chairman thing. And dare I say, every time he delivers a chair shot to someone, he looks like he's having an orgasm afterwards.
Yeah,
he's like he's
loving it. Yeah,
he's literally like, oh my god, this is brilliant.
I like him now, man.
It was he's you remember we said this is his last chance saloon for him, and he's really taking that last chance.
Yeah, he's doing it, man.
For me, is ticking the right boxes. MJF and Sammy Guevara, like we said earlier on in the show, from Underground's comment, I think it was, these guys along with Jungle Boy, future of the business. Forget AEW, future of the entire business.
Definite two champions.
Yeah, they've got so much left, and this is going to be one of those matches that when they're fighting for the championship in 2, 3, 4, 5 years time, they're going to come back to this match and show us this in, the video package and stuff like that. This is just brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Perfect analogy. And I heard someone say like, this is going to go on for years, like Steamboat Flair. Like they're never going to get over it. So these two, this will be a trademark of AEW, of these two guys feuding. And I think it's really cool that they built it with two talents that not many people knew about, but apart from the independent scene. So this was an excellent match. I still did, and I knew there wasn't going to be a clean pin, so I still did enjoy the ending. And I thought that, man, I got to say this. I can't believe I forgot. MJF wants to fight Jericho, wants to give him a rematch, and he said that he's going to give him stipulations that he has to follow up to get that rematch. Let me say this and be perfectly clear. the best storyline build, I think, of AEW during the television era. I'm not talking about Cody and Dustin and those matches before. The television era of Dynamite was Cody versus MJF at Revolution, when Cody had to go through the gauntlet of stipulations to finally face the mega protected Maxwell Jacob Friedman. That's going to happen again. I'm fully down for that. Fully down for that.
What do you think, or should I say, my prediction following this is that this will be a retirement match for Jericho.
Yeah, and he goes on commentary maybe.
Now, I don't think Jericho's retiring, but the whole Jericho 30 book and stuff like that, it seemed as if he's winding down his career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's definitely on the back end of his career. I think we can all agree with that. But I don't know if he's going to retire at the hands of MJF. I think that would be something. What do you think?
Maybe he'll pick him. Like, that's something that he's got to consider, who's going to retire him. But yeah, I don't know 100%. I could see him just not retiring right now.
Yeah, I'm going to take a few comments from here. Then you're going to get into the questions before we wrap up today. We'll have to run through these. Underground says AEW need Tessa Blanchard to revive the division. Someone that's heavily still touted with NXT and AEW. Mixed reactions anytime her name comes up. But someone that I could definitely think could help. Victor says here, the dive from Sammy Guevara to MJF reminds me of Dragon Lee to Will Ospreay in IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. That's a great analogy.
Or an RVD one from ECW.
Yeah. Very, very similar in how that was done. Great spot. Christian Camacho, thanks for joining us, bro. He said MJF should make Chris eat poo. Trust Christian to come with that comment.
Yeah, let's make MJF do something bad, man. He's down bad.
Jonesy chats wrestling. Thanks for joining us, bro. He said Andrade big announcement was underwhelming.
Well, he hasn't done it yet.
I don't think he's done it yet.
Is this Jonesy from Game Changer?
No.
This is a different Jonesy. Okay.
This is Jonesy in the UK.
I thought it was Jonesy from Jersey.
Nah. Yeah, I don't think his actual announcement has happened yet.
No, I don't think
so yeah, we're yet to see that. Mike, do you want to jump into the questions?
Sure. Favorite memory from Daly's Place. This is from our pit. I still got to go with my number one, Kenta opening the forbidden door. I love that moment and I'll never forget it. What about you?
There's been a lot. There has been a lot. I not trying to get overly sentimental or anything like that, but Brody's match against Cody, where he squashed him for the TNT Championship, was one of my favorite things.
About 1 year ago on Saturday Night Dynamite.
Yeah. Yep, that was one of my absolute favorite things because Cody was on a roll, if you remember. Yeah, that was brilliant. So yeah, rest in peace, Brody Lee. That was a big statement, him winning, and it's such a shame this guy's never going to be received by fans.
Yeah, I still think about him like all the time, man, of just how short his run was, but it's still so impactful.
That's the word, bro. It was brilliant. So yeah,
that's a great question, Arpit. We got one from Roll Mason. I know him. He says not wrestling related, but favorite fast food joint. So this one's interesting. I gotta go with Taco Bell. What about you? You gotta
KFC.
Pick one. KFC. You try their new sandwich. It's pretty good.
I don't know if we have it here.
I don't think you guys are always late to the party. Someone said top 20 AEW matches so far. That's a lot.
Go on, give us one or two.
One or two of the top. So we'll go on the theme of Dynamite matches. I'll go with this one that we just saw last night of MJF and Sammy, and I'll go with Phoenix Omega. Two of my really big favorite matches.
Phoenix Omega was brilliant. I'll also add to that Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, and the bunkhouse brawl, I'll forever like that one too, between Dustin and QT. Yeah. Let's do a final question here. Do you think the Elite will show up at the upcoming New Japan show in Los Angeles to confront Jay White? So this is I'll continue this question. Do you think Omega has any hand in this whole New Japan thing coming up, or is he going to start losing the belts? Is he going to extend and do this, or is he not? What's your opinion?
Omega being hurt seems to be a very big topic of discussion, and if that's the case, then he needs to obviously drop his titles, heal up, go into the back room, the boardroom, and do what he needs to do in there in the meantime while he's healing. I personally don't quite think let's put it this way. The belt collector thing has been fun, but for me personally, I don't think it's quite worked. And that might be because of the pandemic being a major kind of blocking the way of moving around freely or whatever the case is. But yeah, I just feel like maybe my expectations for the belt collector thing was too high.
Well, because we thought he'd be like an every week coming to a different place, but he's hurt. So you can't do that because of travel restrictions.
Exactly.
So it's just the
maybe the expectations were set too high by myself, and I feel disappointed. Despite, like I said, it has been fun. Like Omega walking out against Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, with all the belts. I said, this is why I love this.
Yeah, he looks awesome, dude.
He looked amazing.
Yeah,
and I said, badass. It's all worth it for this sort of thing.
Yeah, for the visuals, man.
Just for the visual of him walking out with all those belts, I said, this is absolutely worth it. And he put on a brilliant match, and we saw why Omega is, best in the world sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Let him go take his break then, man. Let him go, like what he said last night on Dynamite, that he wants to just go. Let him do that to heal up a little bit, because I'm not done with this, man. I'm not done with this. I'm just putting that out there.
Fair enough. Yeah, he can take a break as long as, I think, if we see him turning up in these other places and defending the title elsewhere, then it's like the break is justified, because he's done with AEW for now. But yeah, man, very, very interesting. One last thing I wanted to mention to you. Obviously, they've done that package of Daily's Place and stuff at the end of the show, and it was opened up with Cody in the middle of the ring. Remember, at the beginning of the pandemic era, and then we saw him joined by Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, the first one.
Is that the last time on screen we have seen them together?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure.
I was about to say, because we haven't seen them on screen together since then, and obviously there's the rumors of the infighting or whatever.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree with that too. I think I've told you that before, but that was like the first episode they came out, and they're like, I don't know, it was impactful for sure. They came out and said, like, I don't know what's going to happen with the world, but we're here. So yeah, man. Last time we saw them, I don't really know what's going on with the Bucky Boys, Omega and Cody.
It's crazy, man. It's such, these guys came together, and you always wish that egos won't be a thing when you guys go into business together and stuff like that, but it is the inevitable, isn't it? So they're four different guys. We've seen brothers fall apart, let alone just best friends. So
yeah, man, I'm praying everything's good between them, because no one wants to see that,
Exactly, and them working together for the greatness of this company is what's best for business. So guys, that is all we have time for today. It's been very, very fun being back here discussing all things AEW Dynamite. Please, if you're watching, like the stream, leave us with a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We are back, same time every Thursday, so come and talk AEW Dynamite with us.
Yes.
For the newcomers, thank you for kind of joining us. Like I said, we'll be back same time, same place. Like button, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, we haven't forgot about you as well. Please subscribe and follow us on your podcast platform of choice. Leave us with a 5-star review. Let the people know about the good work we're doing right here at the Elite Maniac podcast. Mike, any last words before we get out of here?
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. So please, we really appreciate it. Spread the word, share what we post, get more people out there, because we're pretty confident that we're doing best AW review out there, and we are excited to bring you weekly content. So we just want to continue doing this for you guys. So please help us out. We'll help you out, and thank you for tuning in as always.
Exactly. Guys, we'll be back next week. Road Rager. As for now, you can go and follow myself, WrestleManiac UK, on Instagram, Mike, Kings Road Wrestling. We will see you